The A-Class DJ. It's Supta and your favorite A-lister, Tshepi.
We're having this conversation. Teboho, before we lose you again, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good on you today.
Fabulous. We can hear you loud and clear. And we finally got you on the line. We've got just a couple of minutes left with you, of course, because you're in such a busy schedule. So let's have the conversation. You know, today we're talking about how to choose people who are going to work for you closely and also work with you in your management team, to be specific. So how do you make sure that you keep them motivated?
Okay. Let me take this opportunity to say good morning to all the YFM listeners. You're asking a very important question this morning, because, choosing a right team or right managers is definitely, the key ingredient to a successful business, this day and age. So I think the key thing that I think we need to talk about is, being ethical, because right now, it's all well and good that we see all of these managers or people that are running a business. Because these days, right now, should anything go wrong in your business, you'll also be able to get liably charged, as the business owner, especially if you're going to have managers that are doing unethical things within your business that would come back to tomorrow, perhaps bite your business. So definitely, it needs to be people with a good track record, and people that obviously, more than anything, request certain values and principles that they live by. That that they will not want to compromise your business, and let alone compromise themselves. Because it's easy to get compromised. Sometimes when you see this opportunity sitting in front of you, and you need to turn on a blind eye for it to happen, or for you to even get that opportunity, or let alone put food on the table. That's why it's important that for every business, it's important that you have values and ethics that definitely your business lives by. And you want definitely a candidate or a person that will complement that. And it's something else having that, and you, as a business owner, you do not have that. So it needs to start with you, so that even everybody else in the business knows that you do not cross that line. So then from there, it's important that they have the same level of transparency that you definitely have.
Teboho, when you start a small business sometimes, and you're starting at the corner store there or the corner shop, and you are selling flowers and you selling bread or whatever, you always have, those people that you start the business with. And as you ascend and you grow the business and you grow with these people, more often than not, you always choose them to be the first people to be part of your management team, because they know so much about the business. But is that advisable, to go about in terms of choosing the management team, or is it better to also just outsource?
Sure. I think it's a tricky question, that one, Sabta, because I think it depends, one, on the individual, and two, it depends on the business. Because all well and good, yes, you can employ those people because they better understand the business and the life, But however, the question is, are they the right people to grow your business? Because those may be the right people once you're starting, before your business even has the ability to afford. And maybe let's say getting the right people with the right skills and this and that. Do you understand? Those individuals might be the perfect people to carry that. But you can actually absolutely take it to another level, because remember, people operate according to their level of exposure. So if ever that person is only has been exposed to up to $1 million, they won't be operating at a 10 million mark, because their exposure is leveled or it's limited to $1 million. Do you understand? So that's why obviously the minute you start growing, that's why it's important you want people that will be able to grow to the business. But I must say, we must be able to give credit to those people out there that are able to grow with the business. As the business grows, they also put themselves out there to empower themselves or give themselves the necessary, education or necessary skills that could be beneficial to this business. If this person is able to grow with the business, then why not? But now it's something else. If ever the business is growing and certain people are still stagnant, then from this, and sometimes it even goes to you, the business owner. The business might grow, but you become the hindrance to that business. That's why it's important to have, a team, or maybe at least a board that will be able to direct, to say, to even evaluate you, to say, do you have the right skills for you to even take that business to another level? Maybe now you've done a good job, but now maybe some amount of time that we put to, or we employ a manager or we employ, let's say, a CEO or COO that could assist you or even complement you to take that business to another level, I've realized.
And part of that is also knowing when to choose and how to choose the right person, and also making sure that they've got the right management skills. What are those right attributes that a person needs to have to ensure that you've got the right person in management?
Okay, so I love your question, because you're saying attributes. That's where obviously we need to differentiate between attributes and requirements. Because if you're speaking of requirements, then we'll be speaking of the right qualification or experience. Right? But if you're speaking of attributes, it's things like transparency. Is the person transparent enough? And are they excellent communicators, or are they able to communicate with you, or let alone communicate, with your customers, or people that you're servicing your business? Because right now, those key people, obviously, people think you might be in whatever service that you're rendering, but you're actually in the service or in the business of people. Up until obviously able to manage people, then obviously those people are going to be the one that support your business. Is the person able to listen? Do they have the right listening skills? Are they able to in instruction? Because sometimes they say it might not be your client or your customer, maybe speaking, but it might be your customer base. That's why obviously we have these things which we call customer trends. Hence, you see big brands are now changing the way they do business because they've listened, or they see how the trends are in terms of their customers are being followed or doing. Obviously that is also a form of listening. Is the person appreciating all the opportunities that they have? And can they be able to encourage the rest of the team? Because they might be the best that they have, but if ever, then in that case, they're killing everyone else in the team or discouraging everyone else in the team. Do you understand? They're not going to be the only one working in that business. And most importantly, the last part, consistency and reliability. You need people that are going to be able to consistently, repeatedly, do or put your business first. And more than anything, people that you could rely on as your customers could bring on that reliability, because obviously sometimes those are the people that become the contact of the business. So you don't want those people to be the one that sink in your business after you've put in all the hard work.
Teboho, this conversation is so close to my heart because one of my businesses collapsed because I was so emotional about who do I have as my right-hand person when in my absence, who's running the business. And one of the mistakes that I made was really honestly making sure that I'm bringing my family and friends into management and into the business. Now, emotions is one of the probably the biggest mistakes that a lot of business owners make in bringing people close to them, especially in management. What are other mistakes that people tend to make, or business owners tend to make when selecting their management team?
Okay, right now, I cannot overemphasize what you've just said, Supta. The friends and family can definitely sink in your business. And let me tell you why they're able to sink in your business is because the minute they come into the business, we want to start treating them like our families and our friends inside our business, not employees, onto the business. We start forgetting always the value that they need to be bringing into the business. Let me make an example. Now you guys work at YFM. YFM has got set deliverables to say, these are your KPIs, key performance indicators, to say you are supposed to be showing up every day at 9 to 12, and you need to be deliver content that is creative and this and this. Those are part of your key deliverables to make sure that you've got set listeners, to make sure that you're able to attract advertisers and this and this and that. So, but now when we have our families and our brothers and sisters or our friends, we start forgetting these key deliverables. And then that comes obviously with now flunking our HR systems to say that we do not give them proper employment contracts, So, and we do not get them to do proper job descriptions. Because if ever we were to treat them like employees once they know that, when anything happens, they'll be fired like everyone else, or they'll be taken to disciplinary like anybody else. So it's one thing that I've realized that, it's definitely a flunk into our business. So definitely we need to be maintaining our HR principles, because those are the key things that we know what would keep you and give you, obviously, a steady business. And more than anything, corporate governance. It's something that half of the time we black business suck at, because now just because you're my brother automatically makes you a manager, and you don't have qualities of a manager, So then from there, you my sister, you my girlfriend, But obviously putting in place a proper corporate governance system, it means at the same time, if you've employed them, if there's a manager, they need to report to the manager. They don't now just come to you because now you are drug related and things like that, So that's why obviously it is important. Once you can get your HR and corporate governance, I think, in place, I think everything else can start falling into the picture. And you'll see that you run a business that is smooth, and they'll also be accountable because half of the time they refuse to be accountable to other people but us.
Sure. That's this conversation is one of those conversations you don't think of past just hiring. And it's quite an important aspect of your business, like you had mentioned. Teboho, thank you so much. We've dragged you out of your meeting and out of your busy schedule. We'll put you back there. And thank you so much every Tuesday for coming through with these amazing, amazing nuggets of knowledge when it comes to business. So we appreciate it.
Thank you, Sophie. Thank you, Supta. Looking forward to it every Tuesday.
Oh, man, Teboho, go ask for that invoice payment, please, Chief.
It's a vibe. It's a party. And it's a shindig. Only on Y.